Today I'm going to talk about the biggest mistakes that I see when it comes to video editing. My hope is that these tips will make your editing process go by a whole lot smoother and it removes some of the overwhelm. So one of the biggest mistakes that I see when it comes to video editing is people not having a plan in place before they start to shoot the video and then edit it. So that can include, how do you want people to feel when they're watching this video? Who's the audience that's watching the video? Where is the video going? And this will also help you with choosing assets down the road because you know what vibe you're trying to edit to basically. Now to help with this, you can always look at other videos that's similar to the one that you're trying to make. Now you don't have to copy it verbatim, but just looking at other videos that's similar to yours may help you find some inspiration. Number 2 is for all my long-winded people, and this is to get straight to the point. Now, I've always appreciated people who can go on for hours about specific topics, but this is not the time. We want to keep it concise. Notice I didn't say short, I said concise, because some longer videos do perform well. It's just you have to stay on topic with the video and really give value instead of just talking about, all the other random side missions or, side tracks. Now, some ways you can do that is if you did go on for a little longer than you needed to, you can always cut the moments out that doesn't apply to what you're talking about. And you can cut out any unwanted silences or any filter words that's in the video. And again, having a plan in place before you even start filming always helps this. And number 3, even if pros struggle with this, I'm a pro, I struggle with this, and it's to not do the color correction last. So before you even start editing your video, skim through it and see if there are any parts that may be too dark, maybe too light, or you just want to fix. And then one of the first 2 things that you should be doing is color correcting that video. Because what's going to happen is you're going to trim the video up, you're going to start cutting out things that you don't want, you don't need, and then when you're all done, you're going to look at it and you'll be like, okay, this was a little too dark. And then what you're going to either have to do is you're going to have to color correct it and then copy and paste that correction to every single clip, depending on what video editor you have. But if your video editor doesn't have the option for you to be able to copy and paste stuff like that, you're going to have to manually go in and fix the color of each single clip. Now, luckily for me, I edit in Premiere Pro and I'm just able to copy and paste the color corrections, but for some video editors, it's just not that simple. So instead of worrying about that, this should be one of the first things that you do because it does add extra time. Number 4 is choosing the wrong music, and this goes back to having a plan in place. So how do you want people to feel when they're watching the video? Or, what type of vibe do you want the video to give off? Do you want them to feel inspired? Do you want them to feel all corporate-y and, business-like? Is it a video for children? What vibe is this video going to give off? And is the music going to help push that narrative or that story forward? Choosing music is actually usually one of the first things that I do because I know if I have my music track, then I'm able to edit the video basically to the music. The 5th mistake that people usually do is using random graphics. So I know you really want to use that really cool drone shot, or maybe you want to put in this graphic in the middle of the video, but before you do that, just think, does it push the story along? Or is that animated title that you're going to put in there, is it going to push the story along, or is it going to emphasize a point? And the 6th thing is kind of like the 5th thing, and that's putting the graphics in at the wrong time. Now, the best example I can think of this is, when you're on Instagram and you're looking at one of those pointing videos, but the words aren't quite matching with the fingers. Now, I'm here for a great pointing video. I think it's a very super fast, super effective way to get your point across, but just making sure that the words are actually matching up with your fingers, because I do think for a very simple video that is very off-putting when the words don't match up with the fingers, or in any video when the graphics are put in at the wrong time. So maybe emphasize a point, and then the word pops up like, a good 10 seconds later when you're on to the next topic, so just going back to rewatch the video and just sliding that animation over in your timeline a little bit helps wonders. Number 7 is something that I feel takes a while to do, but learning how to not edit out somebody's personality. So, there's a way to edit out all the filler words and all the likes and all the ums. But, if you're a person that says like, or, all these filler words a lot, then it may look a little weird or it may look a little like cutty, if that's even a word, if you're removing like all of the likes and the ums. And also, for example, so for me, I know sometimes when I'm editing my content, like I'm just very silly. Like I just be laughing at myself, honestly, all the time, even when I'm talking to the camera. So it's like sometimes I might edit out that little chuckle that I let out, but it's like I probably shouldn't do that because I feel like then I'm editing out my personality, trying to make myself seem all serious when I'm not. So, just thinking about whether when you're editing out, filler words or like little quirks that a person may have, is it adding to the video? Is it showing people what it's like to be with them in the room? Because I'm all for having your personality shine through the camera. Number 8 is perfectionism, and this is a big one. So, when we're first editing videos, we may look at another video and we're like, I want my video to look like that. Or, maybe you had an idea in your head of what you wanted the video to look like, but it just didn't quite come out like that. Don't be too hard on yourself. Editing is a muscle that you have to stretch, and it's going to take a few times before it gets to how you want it to be. So if you finish editing your video, that's great. Give yourself a pat on the back. And you could always try to do better next time. Now, I'm holding a training at the end of this month where I will teach you how to edit videos in less time. I will be going over why you should be posting video content, my exact process that I do to get videos out consistently and fast, some of the best softwares to use, and much more. So if you're interested in this training, then click the link in my description box and I will see you there.